Ladies and gentlemen, today is the day, Thursday, July 20th, 2023. Barbie-Oppenheimer, Barbenheimer, the double feature. This is a good day for theaters. Lately, tons of movies have been bombing at the box office. Indiana Jones, Elemental, that DreamWorks Kraken movie. I heard The Little Mermaid is just about to break even. The Flash, this is a good day for theaters. Not only for casual moviegoers like myself, obviously, but non-moviegoers, because of the novelty of seeing Barbie and Oppenheimer on the same day. Yeah, guys, this is going to be good because we have two great filmmakers, Greta Gerwig and Christopher Nolan, making two highly anticipated films for the entire year. And they've both been getting great early reviews. And the memes and the novelty of just seeing two such different movies on the same day is definitely something worth doing. And if you guys, today is the first early release, I guess you could say, of these movies. So technically tomorrow is Barbenheimer Day, Friday. But of course, Thursday is the day to see everything early. So today is the day for me, at least. I'm actually seeing Barbie first and then Oppenheimer second. I feel like most people are probably seeing Barbie second, just as like a palate cleanser. They're seeing Oppenheimer first because that's the more depressing, sad subject matter. So that's just the way I'm doing it, because I'm fortunate enough, actually, I'm going to be seeing Oppenheimer in one of like 20 or 30 screens in the entire United States that's showing it in true 70mm IMAX. I'm seeing it in the only theater in the whole state of Florida that's showing it in 70mm IMAX. It's at the Museum of Discovery and Science in Fort Lauderdale, and they have a true IMAX screen there. So it's going to be cool to see Oppenheimer the way it's meant to be seen, in the best format possible. So that's why I have to see Barbie first, because that only has two show times. I believe 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. And I'm seeing the 7 p.m. one for Oppenheimer. And it's sold out completely, which, of course it is. So I have to see Barbie first, because Oppenheimer's a 3-hour movie. And since I'm seeing it at 7 o'clock, it's going to be over at 10. And by 10 o'clock, it's already too late to be, seeing another movie. So I'm seeing Barbie right now. It's 2:45. It starts at 3. So I'm seeing Barbie at a theater right by my house. And then once that's over, I'm going to do a movie review for Barbie. And then I'm going to go drive to see Oppenheimer, and then obviously review that as well. So I'm taking you guys along the ride for me in this one. 2 movie reviews in one video. And I'm going to be doing it sort of like a vlog style. So I hope you enjoy. And yeah, let's see how this goes. So first, we're seeing Barbie. So here we go.
Best day ever.
It is the best day ever. So is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and every day from now until forever. Do you guys ever think about dying?
When my heart breaks.
All right, so I just got done seeing Barbie, and I gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised at how much I really like this movie. It was actually very touching. A lot of surprises in there I wasn't expecting. There's a lot of adult humor, This movie's actually PG-13. So kids are going to go see this. There were tons of kids in my audience. So if you're a parent and you're going to take your little kid to see this movie, just be aware there's some, adult humor in the film. Nothing too extreme, but just be prepared to be like, oh, okay, I didn't expect that in a Barbie movie. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. If it wasn't for the novelty of this double feature of Barbie and Oppenheimer coming out on the same day, I probably wouldn't have gone to see this movie. I probably would have never even bothered to buy a ticket and see this in theaters. Maybe I'd watch it, streaming-wise, or maybe buy it on Blu-ray. But, I, just being honest, I probably wouldn't see this film. I'm not a Barbie guy. As a guy, we had Ken dolls, I guess, back in the day, but I never was really into that sort of stuff. I was into Transformers and Yu-Gi-Oh! And, stuff like that. I was never into Barbie whatsoever. So, the combination of the novelty of the double feature, and then also, the people involved in this film, actually, Greta Gerwig, Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, the whole cast, Noah Baumbach, actually, who's Greta Gerwig's husband or boyfriend. I don't know if they're married. They actually wrote this movie together. And Noah Baumbach directed Marriage Story, which is an excellent movie if you've never seen it. So actually, the combination of Greta Gerwig and him writing this film was another factor as to why, okay, maybe I'll go see this movie. And then, it being a double feature today kind of sealed the deal. So, yeah, I'm glad I went to see this movie now. My audience was actually pretty full. A lot of people are going to see this. If I had to guess, I would say this is probably going to make more money than Oppenheimer, just because it's the more, I don't want to say family-friendly. Well, it is. The more family-friendly option, obviously. It's a much easier film to digest. But like I said, there is a lot of touching, serious things in this movie. Like, I was very moved, actually. There's a lot of adult themes, and also, at the end of the day, I gotta say too, this movie is very much a girl power movie, and not in like a bad way. People are probably just gonna assume, oh, this movie must be woke. I guess technically speaking, this movie is woke, but in a good way, because it brings up valid points on both sides of male and female. Not going into spoilers, but basically the main plot of this movie is the Barbie world kind of gets taken over by patriarchy, and the Barbies have to kind of find a way to get their to take away patriarchy, essentially. Again, not going to spoil too much. But yeah, I was very surprised that was actually the plot of the movie, because I've seen trailers and whatnot, but I didn't really know what the movie was about. I figured it was kind of going to be similar to Don't Worry, Darling, where Barbie has to like escape from Barbie Land or something, kind of similar to Florence Pugh and Don't Worry, Darling, which thankfully this movie is not like Don't Worry, Darling, because that movie, a lot of people hate that movie. I watched it. I personally thought it was okay, but this movie's not Don't Worry, Darling, so don't worry. So, and I gotta say, Margot Robbie, honestly, probably my favorite actor working today. Obviously, I'm a huge Harley Quinn fan. I'm wearing the pink, for Barbie, and I'm wearing all black for Oppenheimer. But yeah, I love her as Harley Quinn. I love her in I, Tonya. She killed it in that role. Babylon, Wolf of Wall Street. So honestly, my favorite actor working today is probably Margot Robbie. Ryan Gosling, of course, Blade Runner 2049, one of my favorite films of all time. Love him in that. Drive. He is excellent as Ken. Yeah, Simu Liu as the other main Ken in this movie. There's a bunch of Kens, a bunch of Barbies, but these are the main ones. Simu Liu, of course, from Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. He was great. Everybody in this movie was fantastic. Like, was funny, was great in the serious parts. Will Ferrell, he's goofy and over the top for most of the movie. He plays like the main Mattel executive. Well, the CEO, I guess. There's a lot of fourth wall breaking in the movie too, which is great. A lot of jokes really landed. There were some jokes that didn't really land. I feel like the audience didn't really like catch what they were saying. Like kind of a delayed reaction, to certain jokes. But yeah, overall the movie was great. It really was. Visually stunning. Honestly, the best part of this movie is the production design and the visuals and all that stuff. Because man, I would not be surprised if it like swept the Oscars in terms of like costumes and makeup and production design, like I said. So definitely A+ in that regard. Again, the themes in this film are very, very much adult. Again, kids can enjoy this movie, but as an adult watching through a different lens like that, especially as a woman too, I can imagine like this movie could really speak to you. So I'm pleasantly surprised with this film. I really loved it. This film and Oppenheimer have been getting like really high scores. I believe they're both sitting at like at least 90% on Rotten Tomatoes currently. So this is, like I said, this is a good day for movies. A great day for movies. So I think I'm going to give this film a 9 out of 10. I would go higher, but, it's not really one. I don't know if I'd rewatch it a lot. I'm definitely going to buy it when it comes out. And it is a very visually stunning movie, as I mentioned, so it's definitely going to look nice on a nice 4K disc, So I didn't see this in any special format either. This theater right by my house doesn't have any big screens. It's just all standard screens. So I just saw it in a regular, a regular showing. So I don't know if there's any like major difference if you see this in IMAX and actually no, I believe it would be in Dolby, because I think IMAX is only one movie at a time. Oppenheimer's kind of hogging the IMAX right now, so I think they can only show this in Dolby if I'm correct. I'm not sure how it works, but yeah, if you can see this in a large format, definitely do, because like I said, it would be worth it for the visuals and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this one. It was great, I think. The runtime didn't feel too long either. I think it's just under 2 hours. And there's a couple little, surprises in the movie, some little cameos. And again, this is very much an ensemble. There's a lot of faces in this movie that I didn't even know. Like Michael Cera is actually, he's not a surprise. He's listed in the main cast. I didn't realize he was in this movie. He was great. Kate McKinnon was great. Everybody. So A plus, essentially, or actually, I think a 9.5 will be an A plus, but a 9 is still an A regardless. So I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. Again, Oppenheimer, I'm probably giving that like a 10. That's just more my kind of movie, and judging by the reviews that have been coming out, I'm probably end up giving Oppenheimer a 10. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, I got to start driving. I have to drive about 30 minutes to go see Oppenheimer, so hopefully that all goes well. And yeah, let me know your thoughts about Barbie in the comments. And I'm not really going to do a spoiler section for this movie, honestly. Yeah, there's not really any spoiler section I need to do, so no spoilers. But here we go. I'm going to go drive, and we're going to go see Oppenheimer next. So part 2. Here we go. Stay tuned. All right, so I just pulled up to the Museum of Science and Discovery here in Fort Lauderdale. Oppenheimer, my expectations are very high, just because this is a Christopher Nolan film shot on 70mm IMAX entirely. All the reviews and everything going into this movie just sound very, very positive. So I'm definitely hyped for this one. So hopefully my expectations are met. We'll see how this goes, and yeah, hopefully this might end up being film of the year for me. We'll see. So I'll see y'all in 3 hours, so it's going to be a long movie. But here we go, the second half of Barbenheimer. Road work ahead? I sure hope it does. So this museum's actually pretty cool. I haven't been here in like 10 years or so, but it's actually closed at the moment. The only thing that's open is the IMAX theater, but I think they closed at 5 or something. Right now it's 6, but they have this giant contraption here. I don't know if it's like, I've never seen it actually go before, but it's like a giant pinball machine technically. I'm not really sure what you would call it, but yeah, if you guys have ever been here, this thing is pretty iconic. A bunch of kids running around. I don't think they're here to see Oppenheimer, but yeah, pretty cool. So
the one that I saw you that and stuff. Might have been.
We're in a race against the Nazis. And I know what it means if the Nazis have a bomb.
all right, so I just got done seeing Oppenheimer, and wow. First of all, I gotta say, seeing it in that format was amazing. I've never seen a movie quite like that, in that presentation. I kind of regret not going to this theater to see Avatar, The Way of Water, in that format, because I'm sure that would have been something really special. I'm definitely going to be coming here more often. Anyways, wow, this movie was a lot. First thing I gotta say, I know this movie's based on a true story about Robert Oppenheimer, the guy that helped create the atomic bomb. So you can't really do too much in terms of like creating your own sort of spin on it. Like you have to go off true events, and it's based on a book. So of course, you know, this movie is what it is. It's literally based on true events, so you can't really change the narrative. So some people might go into this movie thinking they're going to get explosions and all kinds of stuff like that, a bunch of scientific stuff, when really there is a lot of trial stuff going on in this movie. There was a lot of McCarthy, you know, communist, Russian spy trial stuff in the movie. And my big gripe with the movie is that I felt like there was a little bit too much of it. I felt they could have trimmed it down maybe half an hour, honestly. The movie's 3 hours long. They could have cut out some of that. I mean, I felt like it was a little bit excessive when it came to the trial stuff, which, don't get me wrong, of course, as I mentioned, is part of the real story of Oppenheimer, which I understand. But, man, the last, I want to say, hour or so of this movie was the weakest part for me. The ending was good, though. I felt like the ending was powerful. But to me, the last hour just kind of hit a wall. The rest of the movie was fine. Everything beforehand. The structure of the movie is interesting. It kind of goes back and forth, different time periods in Oppenheimer's life, the before and after, you know, the bomb. And there's like a bajillion characters in this movie. There is a bazillion A-list actors in this movie as well. Tons of people that I had no clue were in this movie. One person I actually didn't even recognize, which was very surprising. But yeah, this movie, it was very good though. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to disappoint anyone, but I don't know if I overhyped myself or maybe the internet overhyped the movie, but you know, the movie's not a 10, unfortunately. It's not the film of the year, for me at least. Now, I gotta say too, the positives right away. Cillian Murphy and Robert Downey Jr. and Emily Blunt, the three main actors in this film, they're all going to get Oscar nominations, I'm sure of it. I'll be shocked if all three of them don't get it. And the movie is probably going to get nominated for Best Sound Design, Best Score, Best Picture probably. The sound design is incredible. Like, there are moments when, during the Trinity test scene, which is when they test the bomb the first time, man, that was honestly my favorite part of the movie. And again, seeing it in this format made it even better. So yeah, that was awesome. The sound design there, once you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. Unbelievable. The score by Ludwig Göransson, I don't know how you say his name. Excellent. Very good. The music was awesome. Visually stunning movie, of course. That goes without saying. Cinematography on point. You might have seen, too, with the clip I put before this review, they actually handed out these little strips, these IMAX 70mm strips here. So that's pretty cool. Everybody got the same exact thing. It's identical. They're not actually taken from the reels. These are just like custom-made promotional, you know, see Oppenheimer in 70mm IMAX. So it's pretty cool that they actually gave us these. I like that. I actually had decent seats in my theater. I was probably 3/4 of the way in, like towards the back. You know, I wasn't in the very back, because people actually showed up ahead of time before I did. This theater I went to, you don't pick your own seat. Basically, you can pay for an extra ticket that gives you priority access to enter the line, which I did have, so I got good seats. But people were in line before I was. I thought I came early, but people came earlier than I did. And my show was sold out, too, by the way. So, yeah, it was very cool. My audience was great. Yeah, honestly, I don't have a lot to say, honestly, aside from all that. Again, you guys are probably, like, disappointed with my review, but this movie is pretty straightforward. Again, there's a lot of trial stuff in this, and if you're not into that stuff, this movie might be a little bit of a turnoff for you. I forgot to mention, too, Matt Damon was very good as well. Everybody was great in the movie. So, again, technically speaking, this movie really didn't have any flaws, except for me, the pacing. The pacing, for me, was a bit of an issue. And rewatchability, I know once I buy this movie on a 4K disc, I will absolutely rewatch it. But I don't know if I'm going to go back to it often. That's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to be like, oh, I feel like watching Oppenheimer today. You know, it's not going to be one of those for me. But again, not trying to disappoint anyone. I'm a pretty big Christopher Nolan fan. I've seen all his movies, including Following, his first little movie he made. I just haven't seen The Prestige. And actually, Dunkirk. I haven't watched those two. But everything else I've seen, I love all his movies that I've seen. So I might make a ranking on Letterboxd or something, minus those two movies, But honestly, I don't have much else to say, really. The movie blew me away on its technical aspects, but the story didn't blow me away. I'll just say that. Going into the film, I didn't really know much about Oppenheimer the man, aside from that one clip that everybody's seen, him reciting the I have become death, destroyer of worlds, quoting the whatever that was. I don't even know. But everybody's seen that clip. And this is not a spoiler. It really isn't. I was really thinking they would have a scene in the film where Cillian Murphy recreated that, and they didn't have it in the movie. So I was a little bit let down by that. I was waiting for it. But don't get me wrong, though. Those words are in the movie, in a different kind of way. You'll see what I mean. Yeah, so honestly, I don't have much else to say. Honestly, as a rating, it might sound crazy, but I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10, just like Barbie. So this and Barbie both got the same score. Crazy to think, right? And in terms of which one I like better, honestly, I don't know at this moment. Barbie is definitely more rewatchable than this. But on a technical level, don't get me wrong, Barbie was a very well-made movie. But technically speaking, this one's a better made movie. So I'm not really sure who wins this debate, Barbie versus Oppenheimer. I honestly, at this moment, I couldn't tell you. So I'm not trying to get you guys to go over to my Letterboxd and hit follow, but you kind of got to go check my Letterboxd whenever I decide to update the ranking for this year, because I don't know which one I like better at this moment. So anyways, that's really about it for this review. I'm not really going to do spoilers for this one either. There's not really much to say. Yeah, so if you guys did the double feature today, which movie did you prefer? And what do you rate each movie, And how was your experience? So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. The next film coming out soon is, I don't even know. I don't even know what's coming out next. I forgot. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching, and have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.